Hello. This is the third trial of coding challenge in Hydra. And the first one was quite difficult. The second one was uh, more difficult than I expected, and it was a bit hacky. So this time I want to pick something that is actually more enjoyable in a sense that it looks like, okay, you can do this with Hydra. So let's see. So again, I'm checking this recodeproject.com where it has a collection of artwork scans from the magazine Computer Graphics and Art from 1970s. And I was thinking about this one. So I already tried this one on the left, which was very difficult, or I couldn't really finish. So instead, and then this time, what about this one? And what's interesting about this piece, Simulated Color Mosaic by Hiroshi Kawano, is that there's no translations yet. So there's no one actually tried it before in processing in this case. So yeah, let's try it. Maybe we're the first ones trying this in a generative fashion. I actually don't know how they made it in the first place. I have no idea, but it's probably something with computer graphics, but very different, ancient program, or they made it by themselves. I have no idea. So, as always, I already downloaded the image, so I just put it here in OBS, and that looks actually not bad. I think how I would start is, I always start with OSC, but this time with noise. Maybe I increase it a bit more. Okay. And this already looks something, which is great. One thing, maybe I stopped the movement. That's one thing. And also, as you can see, there's white part, like the white region of noise is less compared to the black part. And this is because noise, it comes from -1 to 1. And when it's rendered, the region that is -1 to 0, they're all black. And then close to 0 to, I don't know, 0.3, it makes the edge. Close to 1 becomes white. What I'm saying is we need thresh to make it more like closer to what the image reference image is. But if you do this, then you end up with even smaller part of white region. So it's a bit less intuitive, but you could do thresh 0, which end up with separating the noise texture. The negative part, -1 to 0, end up with black, and 0 to 1 end up with white. And maybe do this to have sharp edge. And I actually don't know the distribution of color in the original image. If you're really curious, you can probably like open Photoshop, GIMP, and make histogram. But let's say, yeah, maybe I just even like threshold in my negative value, in this case -0.2, to make it a bit more white. The white part become more dominant. Okay. So far, it's like 4 minutes and it's already looking good. And what's next? So one thing, easy approach would probably pixelate it. And I don't know what's the good number, but do this. And it's actually getting there. But if you look at the original image, maybe I open it here, it has some kind of distribution of this pixelation. Like some parts are like bigger blob and some parts are like smaller pixels. And I don't know what to do with this gradient part because it's a little bit, that's actually something I would do later if I have energy. I don't know if it's something, but probably it's not from the scan or printing. I think it's intentional. Not sure. But let's see. So how can I make this pixelation a little bit more like distributed in a way? And if you look at the original noise, it's also like kind of, it's not just noise. It has something to it. But let's see. So the technique I always use is modulate, pixelate. But contrary to its name, if you just put like noise in it, let's say static noise, it ends up with total mess. This is because modulate, pixelate, I forgot the actual default values, but it takes two arguments. The first one is the multiplication, so let's say it's 100, and the second one is the offset, let's say. So if I do something like, I don't know, just arbitrary, that becomes more interesting because I don't know if it's actually interesting. Because noise comes from -1 to 1, or actually, I would just stretch this. Something like this. Then we know that after thresholding, the image's value ranges from 0 to 1, almost like 0 or 1. If you do this, then it's 0 or 1, but let's do it this way. Then it's easier to predict. It's a big number here and small number here. So if noise is black, then pixelation happens very harsh. This is actually very difficult to understand. Maybe I should start with something like OSC. Let's see what happens with this. And actually nothing happened because, okay. So you can, as you can see, this part, alternately, like this is not pixelated at all, almost. And this part is really pixelated. And why is this? Is that if you look at this image, this part is black. Black part has more pixelation. White part has less, well, almost original image. And that's because pixelating with white part is, because value is 1, multiplies with 1024 and adds 16 offset. So it ends up with 1040, which is, in this resolution, it's almost same as the resolution. Well, maybe not. You can say 2000 or whatever. Then you have no pixelation. As you know, if you do pixelate big number, then there's no pixelation, almost. So that's happening in the white region of the image. But the black region, since the value is 0, it doesn't multiply, well, it multiplies with 1024, but ends up with 0 because it's 0 times 1024 plus 16. So it's end up with this part pixelation of 1616. And that's a really important trick here. And what if I do this with noise? I don't know, just arbitrary. Okay, it's getting somewhere, but there's a lot of pixelation going on. Maybe I want to increase a little bit. But it's not exactly what we want somehow. And this is, I can't really explain why, but well, the trick here is to, before you modulate pixelate, you initially pixelate what's plugged into modulate pixelate. And that's really good trick so that it has like, yeah, the effect looks like getting there. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, like this. You can see that some parts are as it was, and some parts are pixelated. but it's not exactly what we want in the original image. And I guess one thing is that now I'm doing 1024, but maybe this needs to be also like somehow pixelated. Not bad. Could be, or even less. Oh, that's kind of actually good. And it's like kind of accidental because I should have, if I do this, it's more clean in a like a pixelated way. But because there's mismatch of the pixelation of the modulator and what's inside this, I don't know. You can just experiment. So it kind of makes glitchy effect. And actually, this is already really close to what it was, what it is, what the original image is. And maybe, actually, this original thresh is just 0. Maybe it's too dark. Minus 0.1. I would say this is good. And the gradient part, I'm not sure if I want to try. But maybe one thing is that I can increase the noise a little bit. Yeah. And even I can animate this. It's very interesting because it doesn't have this fluidity of original noise pixelation, but it's like really pixelated. Or even I can animate the modulator noise, which is way more busier than what it was. Maybe I would keep it static. What else can I do? So if I look at this image closely, there are some faded parts, and I don't know what to do in order to make this happen. What if I take this, so that's the modulator, and mult doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? Like gradient dot g, so then it makes this kind of gradient, and then mult this. No. What am I doing here? Because it's not exactly mult, it's more like screen effect. So yeah, I want to kind of erase, or like make it a bit brighter, and maybe it's just about add if I'm doing sloppy job. Not really, not exactly what I wanted. Maybe thresh, a little bit less, no. I don't exactly know what I can do. Could be just invert at the end. No, but then it's kind of global that is happening. So maybe it's better I just don't do anything. And let's say this is fine. Or, that's tricky. Because I kind of want that effect. Or maybe it was, do you think this original thing was in color? I don't think so. Like some parts of this has to be, oh, what if I make the copy of it, but thresh a bigger one, or actually smaller. So I have only like part of the black thing happening here. Because that could be used somehow to say, so this screen effect, I can't do it, so I have to do invert and invert, and between them I multiply with gradient dot g. Oops. Oops. It kind of works, and probably this I need to thresh so that it's, yeah, this fading effect only happens at the top. But that's kind of cool. Although it's a little bit redundant, I can plug this in the original one as mult. It might be that, or instead of mult, maybe I do add. No. I feel that it's affecting the black region, so maybe I invert this. No way. So maybe I don't invert this? No. I'm kind of lost. Okay, this is really lost. Yeah, this is the same story, and then, yeah. Because I feel that now it's just adding to the black part. What if I do add to this? Ah! Not exactly, but it's kind of okay. And then I even want to like multiply this by, no, let's say multiply, like a really fine noise, just to have like kind of screen effect, like a dust effect. That's too harsh. Oh no. No, that's not what I wanted. Maybe here? No, that's ugly. I have no idea. Yeah, because I want to kind of add this fading like effect at the top. There are some on the bottom as well, so maybe I actually didn't have to do this thresh here. Or it could be like more like oscillator. 6 times 2, 12, 13. 0 and rotate by. That's actually more interesting. And then is it? Ah, there you go. So I just had to add noise in the multiplier. I don't know what was the difference, but it's okay. So this is actually quite good illustration of like this one. And of course, last thing, scale it like I did in the other videos, 9, 16, boom. Yeah, so the aspect ratio is correct. And should I frame it square? Maybe I should keep that as a tradition or mask with a shape 410. Did I forget this? No. Uh-oh, I don't know why this is not working. Oh. No. No way. I have no idea. This is working. This is not working. Because scale and then masking. Oh, no, of course. This has to come before scaling. This is sometimes really confusing. Yeah, there you go. Good. So this one I'm really proud of, actually, because it looks almost same as the original one, even this kind of fading effect. But maybe the original one has more like connected lines vertically and horizontally, and this something is not seen so much in this, so the pixelation is a little bit different. But yeah, let me know like how you think. You can just write in the comments. Also, if you have any other ideas what to do as a coding challenge, I think it doesn't have to be in the Recode project. So if you have any ideas, please write. Also, I'm planning to do more videos like alone, but also with Floor, and post it on my YouTube channel. So thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, thanks for everyone for subscribing. And also, please leave me comments, write to me my email or whatever. If you're around in, I don't know, Dortmund, Germany, or if you're, I'm going to Colombia from August. So if you have any tips, let's hang out. If you're there, let's hang out. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.